What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Wanted to go over and review Little Fires Everywhere on Hulu. I loved it. This was a binge-worthy show on Hulu. This made me get Hulu. Did the 30-day free trial. Now I'm paying $5.99 for Hulu Originals because I really enjoyed Little Fires Everywhere, starring Kerry Washington and Reese Witherspoon. And I love this because you get to see how race, especially because this is centered around in the 90s. So you get to see how prevalent race is and the social dynamics that are surrounding race, and how Mia Warren and her daughter Pearl is more of a, they move around a lot because, and later you find out that she's running. So it's just basically she's just always around, always moving, always doing something. And I loved how the story was told because it fleshed out everything. Reese Witherspoon's character, Elena, and just how she was and how her life was, with that typical suburbia. You're in Shaker, Ohio. Shout out to Ohio. I remember Cuddy mentioned Shaker. I think he's from Shaker. So that's why I was like, oh, damn, this is a real thing. This is based off a real, true story. And how this woman, she's a journalist. She has the perfect life. Her husband's a lawyer. They have 3 kids. And it's a huge, nice house. And their stories just intertwine with each other as Mia comes in, wants to pay rent at their second place that, and like I said, later on in the season, you find out that it was Elena's and her husband's Bill's first place. And they rented out because they got it from their dad. It was paid off. They rented out and they rented it to Mia and her daughter, and how since they moved there, their lives have just been intertwined. Pearl's with Moody, starts with Moody. She ends up liking Trip. And how Izzy, the youngest daughter of Elena, is that outcast, that rebel. And she is more intertwined with Mia because they relate to each other. Where versus Pearl always wanted a life because they're always moving. They're always on the go. They sleep in their car. They can find, and she finds work wherever she can. And Pearl intertwines with Elena. She wished she had a mom like her. Like, hey, she's involved in their life. She makes sure that they're perfect. And I love that aspect. So that was one aspect I've seen it. Then when Pearls, were best friends with Moody, think they're going to be together, and then finds out that she started having eyes for Trip and ends up sleeping with Trip and the other daughter, Lexi. So Lexi story was she was dating a black guy. He's all-American football player, basketball player, like the most popular couple in high school because of those social dynamics. It's, hey, she's on a roll here, he's a star athlete, so they're together, and you just see how everyone's lives just gets flipped upside down by Mia and Pearl being there. And it's just, I love this story because you just seeing how so much things are connected, what's going on, and it brought about so many different themes of, with Izzy, how she's in high school, about to be a sophomore. How could she come out as being gay, and interracial couple, dealing with teen pregnancy, teen abortion. It was so many dynamics in here, so many themes that you're just kind of like, I can't pick one. And that's what kept me entertained the whole time, because you got the story of how Mia ran because she was a surrogate mom and she just took the baby and ran. And Elena and Bill, where Bill progresses in his career as being a lawyer or attorney, and Elena's career is kind of flattened because she kept having kids. So she's unhappy because of that. So you just get to see so many themes that are in this one show. I am so here for this. And I thoroughly enjoyed this. I really give this a 9 out of 10. I really wish that it was 2 more episodes, but they told the story perfectly. Even at the end, when Elena confronts Mia, because when Mia paid for the Chinese lady's lawyer fees to try to get her daughter back from Elena's best friend who had adopted her daughter, a lot of things start unraveling about Mia. And it goes on to the kids. Pearl finds out, and Elena eventually finds out the whole truth about Elena eventually finds the whole truth out about Mia, where she comes from, what she did. So it's all going to a head, it's always kind of like what's going to happen, who's going to do what, because of everyone knows this information. And that last episode, you could just tell, like, Izzy, the kids, they're just like, we're over this. This part of us has to die because we're not perfect. And Elena tried everything in her power to make it perfect. But you can understand why she wanted to make it perfect, because she sacrificed so much of her life for her kids and her family, for the sake of family, that she's like, I don't accept anything else other than that. Because of my sacrifices, you should be this way. I sacrificed for you to do it, so it shouldn't be anything else. And a lot of people grew up like that, and that's not just one social dynamic, no one race. It's a lot of people that grew up that way, that grew up in the type of household like that. And that's why I was like, man, it's pitting the free, as Mia represents the free roaming, it's just me and my daughter versus the world, versus Elena, who has the structure, she has the family, the white picket fence, the big house, 3 kids. It was that dynamic clashing, and it just all came to a head to where the last episode, you were kind of like, wow, this definitely needs a season 2 to further the story of how, the aftermath of Bill finding out about Atlanta when she went to New York to meet her ex-boyfriend. So he's upset. Elena's upset, finding out about Mia. The kids are upset because they're finding out about Pearl and her mom, and just the things that their mom was doing, what Elena was doing, that they were just kind of like all over it. Everyone was so over it. Like, you just knew it was coming to a head. And I can't say that enough, because that's why I was like, wow. And they end up torching their house. That's crazy. It was, and even then, they didn't want the kids to be anyone responsible. So, of course the adults were taking their responsibility. So I want to see where the story goes after this. Again, I give this a 9 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed this. This is such a binge-worthy show, and it's definitely in my top 10 shows to binge watch of 2020. So, if you guys enjoyed my review of Little Fires Everywhere, subscribe to my channel, post comment down below, like the video. It's your boy, D. Dyson. Peace.